Alright, good morning everybody, all you wonderful people from YouTube. Starting a new job today. As you see, we got quite the trailer load here. Going out, we're grading a gravel driveway. So I got the 41-inch bucket, the 18-inch trenching bucket. We got a 20-foot section of 15-inch corrugated pipe, skid steer. I got my digging bucket and the ripper in the truck. So we're gonna get moving. Hopefully the truck can get out from this. I don't know if you can see the incline. You know, trees grow vertically. It's a pretty steep driveway I have here, and it gets steeper as you get to the road, so hopefully the truck can pull this out. We're sitting at like 24,000 pounds here. So we're gonna go to the job, and first thing is to get this culvert pipe installed, and then we're gonna spread 100 tons of stone, finish off this driveway. So we'll check in with you when we get to the job. All right, just pulled up on site. Gonna get the machines unloaded. So in front of us, this driveway wraps way around back. The house is way up there. So right about on the turn there, it gets real muddy. So we're gonna install a culvert pipe across the driveway and dig a trench for a riprap basin. And then we got 100 tons of gravel to spread along this whole driveway. Especially in the middle upper section, it's really carved out from water over the years, so we're going to spread quite a bit of gravel through there. So we're going to get unhooked here and get everything moving. Okay, so what we got going on here, you can see this area out of the whole driveway gets really wet. So all the water that runs down the driveway slope this way, and it goes up a big hill there. This area gets really wet, and then the water ends up washing across the driveway, making this really muddy. And they've tried to fill it in a couple times, it just doesn't work. So we're gonna end up carving out the side of the driveway so water flows right to here. We're gonna dig a basin, a riprap basin, and our culvert pipe's gonna go under the driveway and out into the woods here. One thing we gotta worry about, there's a power pole out there that goes into underground power, and we're gonna assume that it runs along this side of the driveway. So we're gonna dig with the smooth bucket and be very, very mindful of that wiring. We do not wanna hit main power or cable or anything that could be under here. So if it's just gonna be on wire duty, I'm gonna dig this all out. I want it 6 inches under the driveway at minimum, and then we're gonna backfill it all with the gravel and send it out that way. So we're gonna get started digging here. I'm gonna throw on the smooth bucket. Skid steer's over there because the gravel's all up at the top of the driveway. I want to be able to fill everything back in when I'm done and not be trapped with a big hole. So we're gonna get everything switched over, start digging, and go from there. All right, Mr. Pipe Washer did his job just right. There is the electrical conduit that runs down the side of the driveway. There's also electricity for these globe lights there. I don't know if you can see in the distance. So we're still going to be really mindful that there's other pipes in here, but at least now we've located the main electrical. We can start digging back our trench a little bit, opening this up so we can really kind of hand dig around this and be really careful. But good job, Mr. Fitz. All right, Fitz went exploring, and right next to this pipe is the exposed wiring for the light globes, the light posts that are along the driveway. So once again, we're still gonna just dig around here and locate anything else. Make sure there's no other wires. I'd assume there was no covering, there was no warning that this pipe was here. We've just been digging slow in this area. Once again, we're just gonna keep an eye out and really slowly dig this way a little bit, make sure there's nothing else to expose, and that way a little bit to make sure there's nothing else to expose. Okay, on today's episode of What Do We Find Underground, you last saw us hitting the conduit pipe, locating that. Surprise, surprise. You can see right here where we hit, just scuffed it. 8 inches away from that is where the conduit ends. So we have wire for the lights, main power for the house, and cable. Luckily they're all together, but the conduit ends for no reason. But this circle right here is base grade of our pipe. So the wires are going to go underneath. Pipe's going to come to here, 20 feet straight across the driveway. And at this line, we're going to build our slope into this and dig that so we can get the pipe installed, packed in, and backfilled. So the driveway will be usable again. And then we're going to have to get some riprap to fill in this. We'll, core that out a little better. Once the pipe is in, we can get an idea of what it's going to look like. And this dead tree here, that little root coming out, I was digging, and this tree is not holding on by much. So might end up taking that out and just tossing it across the driveway. But we'll see when we get there. All right, we just set our laser level to 1/4 inch per foot slope. So over this whole 20-foot run, we're going to have 5 inches of slope that way. So the laser level is now set for that. We're going to start digging across the driveway, getting everything to grade, and then we'll get that pipe in there. Alright, we're getting ready to put the pipe in right now. We got all of our base to grade. We actually had to bring it up just a little bit, but we're going to install this pipe now. So we got the pipe in here and just checking our grade. That's good. Nice and level there. Nice. And down at the end. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to get this thing starting to get backfilled. You can see we found a cable line here. We actually just nicked it, not nicked it, but you know, tapped it with the bucket. And then right after the client actually came out, I was like, oh yeah, there's a cable line over there. So there was some damage on it we just taped up. There was no mark from the excavator, so we think that that may have been when it was installed, so we just threw some tape on there for now. There were no rocks near it either, so I don't know how it was nicked, maybe just during installation. But we had to dig a little extra so we could bow it down. It was right in the line of where the pipe was going to be. So we're going to get this backfill on both sides and compacted, and then we're actually going to have to raise the driveway grade a little bit, which is fine. So yeah, we're going to get backfilling. Alright, so we're starting to spread some gravel. We got the pipe in. I spread gravel along the edges and I compacted it with the excavator. I straddled the pipe and really packed it in real good. So I'm getting this spread. I had to, up there is really gnarly for the machine to drive on, so I spread some gravel up there just to get a little more smooth of a ride. That's going to stay for riprap tomorrow. Same with this end, but I'm going to get the driveway graded around that real quick. It's just going to put away some tools. And then once we get this all kind of smoothed out, I think I'm going to go up the side of the driveway here, kind of core this out just a little bit to trench the water down towards the pipe. Okay, I got a good portion of the gravel spread down this hill part of the driveway. So my goal with that, what I've been doing, is that's all sloped this way towards that rock wall that rides up the side of the driveway. So what I want is the water is going to run basically between the rock wall and then exit somewhere over here. And then this part of the driveway, I'm still going to slope it, or as best as I can, but I'm cutting in this drainage swale along the side here. So any water that does flow down that side of the driveway will hit, you know, I cut this out with the skid steer, it'll go into the pipe and across the driveway and out. That'll keep this area a lot less muddy and keep down the erosion. So I'm just going back. There used to be a retaining wall here that are railroad ties and it's all rotten. So I'm just kind of going along the line of that and just cutting this in so that any water that does make its way off the driveway that doesn't go this way will hit this trench and get carried over to the pipe. Alright, so end of day one. You can see our gravel piles behind us. I'd say we're more than halfway through it. But what we got done, you know, we'll be back tomorrow to finish it. But everything from the top of the driveway, so this area was rutted out like, I'd say, well over a foot in some spots. So there's a lot of gravel in here, and I have it all pitched to the left. So the water is going to flow towards that rock wall. I'm still going to raise this. I mean, once I get the top coated and this bottom section coated, I'm going to use the majority of the rest of that gravel in here to continue raising this up. But we're all tilted to the left here. And then as we come down around the corner, you can see right about here is my drainage ditch starting to start. So the driveway still sloped to the left just a little bit, but any runoff that makes its way down will hit into that drainage trench and go into our pipe. And then here's our pipe that's going to get rip-wrapped tomorrow on both ends. And then we've got the rest of the driveway here to coat down to the truck. So we're almost done. I'm getting spam calls here. But that's about it for today. Really good progress. We're using 1 1/4 inch item 4. I'm really happy with this stuff. It packs really well and it's really easy to work with. But check in tomorrow. I'm grabbing some riprap at the quarry. We don't generally grab a lot of riprap, but they keep it up in the back. You basically get to go under all the conveyor belts and everything. This mine is kind of interesting. They don't dig down like a conventional quarry. They're actually digging horizontally into the side of a mountain. So there's actually a bunch of tunnels and everything where they take these specialized front loader machines and drills and hammers and everything, and they actually bore horizontally through the mountain instead of going down vertically like you normally would. And everything just gets conveyored out here and crushed into different sizes. But you can see a huge mountain in front of us where they're tunneling out of, and they have a bunch of different entrances and whatever to get in and out of it. But it's pretty cool. Loaded up, ended up being 4.57 tons. This is a 4 to 6 inch riprap material. So I'm gonna go in and pay. Fitz will tarp up the trailer and we'll get off to the job. All right, we're back on site. We got our riprap, and we're gonna fill around the edge of the pipe and a little bit of an outlet, and then fill up this with riprap here so that any water that comes in can pool in here and not destroy everything. So we're gonna get on loading this. Alright, as you just saw in the time lapse, we got the riprap installed. So kind of starting around here, I wasn't able to dig down very much because they have this old rotting railroad tie retaining wall that kind of stopped like right here. So I did what I could here, but basically starting right here, it's nice and bowled out. So any water that does make its way off this hill, off the driveway, even though the driveway is going to be pitched this way, it will catch in this basin, flow right down into our pipe. You can see here, riprap right into the pipe, nice riprap edge on the driveway, flow across the driveway and out of the pipe down into the woods. So that looks really nice. We're gonna pull the truck out of the way. I'm gonna finish spreading the gravel in the driveway here, and then I think we're gonna haul away some of this dirt. But moving along. All right, so the driveway is finished. I just spread out this pile of dirt. The client said I can spread it out here. I tried to keep it away from the trees. And then we got a load here of, I'm gonna call it the unsuitable material. So this is a mix of the driveway gravel and stuff from up top where everything was piled. You know, you can't really scoop down to everything. So that's just a mix of gravel and dirt. So I cleaned up the lawn for him. We're gonna come back after we dump this dirt to pick up the machines. And I'll probably pack it in one more time with the skid steer. So back to the yard to drop off some dirt. Alright guys, we're about to wrap this driveway up. I'm just doing my final little packing passes here, but I'll take you on the tour up. Everything got a coating of this 1 1/4 inch gravel. It's a 1 1/4 inch item 4. It packs really well. It's got fines in it. But we top coated the majority, well not the majority, we top coated the whole driveway. The section up ahead got quite a bit of item 4. You can see on the right I spread out the dirt like the client asked for, and here's where we installed our pipe. So you can see the pipe in there with the riprap basin, and then the outlet of the pipe there with more riprap. On the left here, I have my riprap trench to catch anything that falls off the hill or off the driveway. And then once we get to the end of that riprap trench, the driveway sloped to the right. I mean, the whole driveway sloped to the right, but this section was crazy. In some spots, I bet we have 12 to 18 inches of fill, or 12 to 16 inches, I'd say. There was just exposed bedrock, and it was like an off-roading trail. So we filled this in and graded it all off. And then up here at the top of the driveway where the parking space is, I did the same thing. There was no real defined driveway before. So we just came in here, nice curve around the corner, squared off the edge, and finished up in that section. We just seeded and strawed the area where everything was dumped, and that's about it for this project. Alright, thank you for watching, and throw down a comment if you have anything to say, a like, subscription, whatever you want to do. Thank you guys very much. All loaded up, ready to go home. Another successful project completed.